Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. If you're new to our channel, welcome. Here at Mad About Skin, we're passionate about helping you to get the most out of your skincare. So if you haven't already, now's a fantastic time to click that link below, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, and you won't miss out on any of our amazing future content. Today's video, we're going to be doing a battle of the skincare brands. This is something we've done on the channel before, and you guys have loved it. We take two fantastic or well-known skincare brands, and we put them against each other. We look at the products that sit beneath them and work out in the end, which is the best skincare brand. The most popular video in the series has been the Inkey versus the Ordinary. Not surprising, as they're two fantastic and well-loved brands. I'll leave a link to that video up there if you do want to check it out. But today, we are going to be looking at NATURIUM, the new skincare line by Susan Yara, versus the Ordinary, a fantastic established drugstore brand. There's two reasons why I'm doing this review. First of all, because you guys have asked for it in bucket loads in the past week. Some of you have been asking for it because you want a little bit of the drama, you want to spill a little bit of the tea, because Susan did a unfavourable review of the Ordinary against her own skincare brand prior to launch. She did that over on her Facebook page. Some of you just want to know how it compares, because NATURIUM is slightly more expensive than the Ordinary, so whether it compares favourably and it's worth spending the extra dollars on, whether you get the extra benefit for the extra money. So I think that's a really fantastic thing to delve into. Also, I think it's a really good chance to pit a new brand against an established brand we absolutely love. You know, if something compares favourably to the Ordinary, it's going to be a fantastic brand, because we love and adore the Ordinary here on this channel. So I think from both of those perspectives, it'll be really interesting. I know there's been a lot of drama around and issues around the NATURIUM launch. We're parking that and we're leaving it. In this video, I'm just looking at the quality of the products themselves. If you want a more in-depth look at NATURIUM, I did a whole review on it, which I will link up there, so check that out if it is something you want a little bit more detail on. But for me, we are just looking at the quality of the products here. Just a disclaimer before we start, I made a decision not to purchase any of the products from NATURIUM based on some of the issues around the launch. I made that personal decision. I'm not here to influence or to tell anyone what to buy and what not to buy. This is just a comparison of the products, looking at the quality of the ingredients and the results that you can expect from them only. So I'm putting that disclaimer out there, but I really would just encourage you to do your own research and to do what's right for you. Skincare should be fun and it's personal, so do what's right for you. Enough of that waffle, we're getting straight into it, and we are starting where any good routine should start, and that is at the cleansing step. I love a good cleanser, and we've got two fantastic ones to choose from here. So with NATURIUM, in the batting for NATURIUM, in the green corner, we have Mixed Greens Nutrient Rich Cleanser, which retails at $16. For the Ordinary, we have the Square Lane Cleanser for $6. You've got a reasonably big price difference between these two, so we're going to work out whether it's justified. So the NATURIUM Mixed Greens Cleanser claims to be able to balance the skin with a balanced pH. It's got vitamin C to brighten the skin. It claims to hydrate, and it claims to have antioxidants which come from those mixed greens. It's also got fruit oils, and it has a light scent to it. The Square Lane Cleanser is completely fragrance and oil free. It is significantly cheaper, and it claims to really just be able to remove the dirt and the grime without drying the skin out too much. So in terms of the NATURIUM, I have a few issues with this product. First of all is the pH. The pH is between 6 and 7. The skin's natural pH is between 5 and 5.5. So it's not a million miles away, but it is much more neutral than the skin's normal state, which is in an acidic state. We want to retain our acid mantle on the skin, which is really important to make sure that we don't see a proliferation of bad bacteria on the skin, which tend to like an alkaline environment. So I don't think the pH in this product is particularly right. It's got a lot of fruit extracts and oils in here, which can be quite triggering for people that that have sensitive skin. I don't think this is necessarily a very good cleanser for people with sensitive skin. I think it could be a little bit irritating. The fragrance is very nice in it, so I'm certainly not taking that away. And if you haven't got sensitive skin and you like fragrance in your cleanser, actually, cleanser is a really good place to have a fragrance in your skincare routine if you like it, because you are putting it on, you're washing it off, so you're not leaving it on all day and risking that sensitivity from it. It's got vitamin C in. Anyone that's watched this channel before knows I don't rave about actives in cleansers. Cleansers are something that you put on your face and you wash off. So any of the active ingredients you're washing down the sink, you're not getting the benefits. I'm not a fan of that. I didn't think Susan Yara was either, so I'm surprised to see the vitamin C in here. It's not going to do any damage, but I don't think you're going to get much benefit from it. Same with the antioxidants from the mixed greens. it's going to be on your skin 45 seconds to a minute. It's really not going to be able to do a lot, and the antioxidants aren't going to be that powerful enough to do anything really meaningful in that time. Antioxidants you need to leave on the skin to protect against aggressors and free radicals throughout the day, not put it on and wash it off. I'm not a big fan of that. I don't think this is the best product within the Naturium range. I'm going to be honest. I think I wouldn't use this if I had sensitive skin. I don't think you're getting a lot of benefit for the additional price. The Squalane cleanser, on the other hand, is perfect for all skin types, from the oily right through to the sensitive and the dry. Squalane is brilliant at moisturizing but not leaving an oil slick and a trace. It washes off like that, which is fantastic. So you get the next steps in your skincare routine can just be applied beautifully. There are very few ingredients. There's a lot of ingredients in the Naturium cleanser. There's very few in the Squalane cleanser, which I think is really good if you have sensitive skin, because the fewer the ingredients, the less chance of there being a reaction to them, which I think is fantastic. This is my go-to cleanser, the Squalane cleanser. I really don't think you can beat it. The Inkey List oat cleansing balm is really good. Evolve Beauty do a really good one, but it's up there with certainly the best cleansers out there. I think for me, I like to do a facial massage, and I need a slippy, oily cleanser to be able to do that. The Squalane cleanser is perfect for that. The Naturium, I don't believe, though I haven't tried it in the consistency, so I won't knock them points off of this, but I don't think it would lend itself to being able to massage with particularly well. Overall, this is a slam dunk win for The Ordinary with their Squalane cleanser. I don't see why you would be paying $10 more for something that could be a little bit sensitizing and has added ingredients that I don't think are necessary, because they're not going to be adding the benefit with you washing it off. The smell's perfectly pleasant, but I just don't see the additional benefit of the Naturium one over The Ordinary. So we are 1-0 to The Ordinary. Cleansing done. Now, interestingly, Naturium don't have an exfoliator, a standalone exfoliator. They've got exfoliating acids within some of their other products, but they don't have an exfoliator itself. So I'm not going to be comparing. I would have liked to have compared something to the 7% toning solution by The Ordinary, which I love. It's a beautiful glycolic acid, but there's nothing to compare it to, so we're going to skip exfoliation, though you never should skip exfoliation in your actual routine, people, and we're going to move on to the vitamin C's. This is really interesting because a lot of people have been comparing, all of the issues came about through the promotion of the vitamin C on the Naturium side. That's why this one has got quite a bit of buzz about it. But actually, I think this is genuinely one of the best products from the Naturium line. This is a vitamin C serum, 22% with hyaluronic acid and vitamin E. Retails at $20. The Ordinary comparison is the vitamin C 23% plus hyaluronic acid suspension, which is $7. So again, you're getting a very big price difference between the two. And let's see what the difference is. So The Ordinary is much simpler. It is a 23% concentration of L-ascorbic acid. It's got one type of vitamin C, which is the most potent form of vitamin C. L-ascorbic acid really is the gold standard when it comes to vitamin Cs, and really what you should be looking out for in vitamin C products. It's going to give you the fastest results, but it can be the most irritating of all of them. So it might not be the right product for you if you have sensitive skin. The Naturium one, on the other hand, has two different types of vitamin C in there. It's got the sodium ascorbyl phosphate, which is vitamin C derivative, and it's got some L-ascorbic acid in there. Not hugely transparent about what the concentrations of each one are. So even though the 23% is in The Ordinary and 23% is in the Naturium, they're actually very different products, because when you look at the makeup of them, sodium ascorbyl phosphate isn't as strong as L-ascorbic acid. So the percentages can be a little bit misleading, which a few people have raised online as a concern and an issue. I don't think it's an issue, because Naturium have been very clear in their marketing what the vitamin C's are that sit within these products. So I'm not knocking the marks off for that, but they're not that comparable in terms of the strength, I don't believe. The Naturium one is encapsulated, which means you're going to get less irritation from it. In theory, you're going to get less irritation from the application of the vitamin C, so it might be better for people with slightly sensitive skin or people that are new to vitamin C. But of course, by encapsulating things, you do lose some of the strength of the vitamin C. So all these things really need to be offset. If I had to choose between two, I think for my skin, I'm going to go for The Ordinary. I think this is much closer. I'm going to go for The Ordinary, and for why is because the vitamin E that is in the Naturium one, I think can be a little bit clogging for my skin, and anyone with greasy skin can find vitamin E a little bit clogging and a little bit grease inducing. So I'm not a huge fan of that. I do think it's gentler than the Ordinary, but I quite like a vitamin C. If I'm going to apply vitamin C, I want it to work, and I want it to work like that. And I think a higher strength vitamin C does produce better benefits. It's one of those things where the higher strength does deliver an additionality benefit. Both being 23% is misleading, because the Ordinary is going to be stronger than the Naturium, and it just works better for my skin. I think if you had a more sensitive skin type, I think you would get on better with the Naturium, and it would be less stinging and less irritating. However, I think there are better vitamin C's on the market for sensitive skin. So this is going to be 2-0 to the Ordinary, but that one was really close. And actually, I do think the vitamin C from Naturium is one of their best products. I do really enjoy the idea of mixing the two types of vitamin C together and encapsulating it so it's more easily tolerated for people with sensitive skin. So definitely check it out if you are looking for a vitamin C and you have slightly sensitive skin. Now we're moving on to the niacinamides. This is where it gets interesting, because you've got here with the Naturium, you've got a niacinamide serum, 12% with 2% zinc in there. I love niacinamide. It really helps to control the level of oil production in the skin. It can brighten the skin. It can increase cellular turnover. Zinc is also fantastic at regulating sebum production in the skin, so great if you're oily or acneic. The Ordinary have exactly the same ingredients in there, but their niacinamide is at 10%, not 12%, and their zinc is at 1%, not 2%. So you're getting double the amount of zinc and a little bit extra niacinamide in the Naturium one. What are my initial thoughts on this? Well, again, with the Naturium one, you have that vitamin E, which I'm not a huge fan of, but again, that's just personal to my skin type, not to everybody, so I'm not going to knock a mark off specifically for that. I did a whole video on niacinamide, which I'll link there if you want some more detail on it as an ingredient. I actually don't think you need to push. I don't know why they've pushed this to 12% with the Naturium. I said that in my original Naturium video, and I stand by it. For me, I think niacinamide is best enjoyed at between 5 and 10% to get maximum results. Any more than that, I do think you're going to risk irritation, purging, redness, peeling. Just things that you don't want in your skin, and I don't understand for the extra 2% what it's delivering. I think personally what they've done is they've increased it to differentiate between the Ordinary, which is a super popular serum, to provide a little bit of differentiation. I think the extra zinc is quite nice. I think if you've got oily skin like me, a little extra zinc is probably going to be beneficial. So from that perspective, I like it. The Naturium retails at $16. The Ordinary retails at $6. So you've got quite a big price difference again. I'm actually going to score this as a draw. I'm going to give it 1-1 on this particular topic. The reason for that is I think the niacinamide in the Naturium is too high. I would rather it be 10% than 12%, but I think the Ordinary could push their zinc content up to 2%, and it would give additionality benefit to people like me with oily skin, breakout prone skin, and anyone with acne. So I actually think if they combined these two products and you ended up with a 10% niacinamide with a 2% zinc, when I do my own skincare line, that's going to be that will be my formulation. I need to trademark that now. I actually think would deliver a really good product. So I'm going to do it a score draw. I think the Ordinary, if you're on a budget, is fine. If you've got particularly oily skin, I think the Naturium, so it's score all. So it's 3-1 to the Ordinary so far, but both of those products I think are very, very similar. We're going to move on to retinols here. Now, there are two retinols. There's an oil and there's a serum that sit within the Naturium line. I'm focusing on the serum here because the oil is slightly different and there's not really a comparable one with the Ordinary. So here you've got a retinol complex serum of 2.5% retinol. Well, let's start with it. Retails at $20. In the Ordinary, they have a multitude of retinols. I did a whole video actually on Ordinary retinols, which I'll link there. But I guess the closest comparable would be the Gran Active retinoid emulsion from the Ordinary, which is $10. So again, big price difference, but is it worth it? Well, a lot of people are complaining about the Naturium retinol because they say 2.5% retinol, where actually in there it's not. There's 3 different retinol-like compounds. So you've got retinol palmitate, you've got retinol, and you've got bakuchiol. Bakuchiol actually isn't a vitamin A derivative, it's plant-based. So there is a bit of misleading information, I feel, there. The 2.5% concentration isn't of pure retinol, which some people believe from the marketing and what's on the information. So I do think that's could be a little bit more transparent. But I do like the idea of having 3 different types of retinol type products in there, which does mean you get less of the irritation. Anyone that's ever used retinol knows how irritating it can be, particularly in the first sort of 6 to 12 weeks. So this would help offset some of that. So I think it's a nice introductory retinol. I actually really hate all of the retinols from The Ordinary. I've never found one that works for me. The price point's gorgeous, the strengths are fantastic, but they all have that oily, greasy consistency that doesn't sink in. I thought I was unusual in hating on them, where everybody else said they were fantastic. But actually, since I came out and said, I really just don't like them, a lot of people have said, no, I had the same experience with my skin. So I do think it's more widespread than just me and my weird skin. So I actually really don't like the retinols from The Ordinary. So I am going to give this one to Naturium. I would, if I was Naturium, if Susan, if you're listening, I would be a little bit clearer on your marketing, because it's not 2.5% retinol. It says a complex, which does mean a mixture of ingredients. So I do still think they could be slightly clearer. And bakuchiol isn't a retinol in the traditional sense, so I don't like it to be lumped in with that 2.5% calculation. Not a big fan of that, but overall, I think it's a good product. You will get good results, and some of the reviews on external websites, not just the Naturium one, have been very favourable of this. So I think overall, a very good product. So we are at 2-3 to The Ordinary and counting. Now we come up to the hyaluronic acid. I've really recently got into hyaluronic acids, and to be honest, I love them. It's now a staple in my skincare routine. Previously, I was a little bit dubious because I hadn't found one that worked for me. I stuck with The Ordinary for years and it just never really worked. So I'm going to be comparing here the quadruple hyaluronic acid serum by Naturium with the hyaluronic acid 2% by The Ordinary. The Naturium one, $16, The Ordinary, $6. So again, this is quite a theme. It tends to be about double and maybe a bit, and the cost of the Naturium compared to The Ordinary. What the Naturium one says is unique is it's got 4 different molecular weights of hyaluronic acid, so you get different levels of skin penetration with each molecular weight, which I like. Something different. It's a 5%. It's a 5% concentration of hyaluronic acid. The Ordinary is 2%, and it just has that 1 molecular weight. I'm going to be totally honest. I'm going to give this to The Ordinary. I don't even like The Ordinary hyaluronic acid that much. I don't feel it's easy to layer products on top of, but I'm giving this to The Ordinary for a couple of reasons. First of all, hyaluronic acid is best at around a 2% concentration. It's one of those products that the higher the concentration doesn't mean the better the results. We can actually get, if you use too high concentration of hyaluronic acid, and I think 5% is pushing it, it can actually start to dry out the skin, so you end up getting the reverse of what you're hoping to achieve with the product. So I'm not a huge fan of that. I think a 2% is much better. You can use it morning and night. It's skin safe. It's not going to give you any redness or anything associated with that. So I actually think 2% is enough as a concentration. I don't like the fact that Naturium have pushed it to 5%. I don't think there's a need for that. I do like the 4 levels of the 4 different types, the 4 different molecular weights, of hyaluronic acid in the Naturium. But I have a couple of issues. 1, the strength. 2, it's advertised as vegan when actually it contains honey, cruelty-free honey. But I just think that is totally one of my biggest issues with Naturium as a brand, is this claim that they're vegan. They're not. Honey is not vegan. Most vegans that I spoke to do not eat honey and do not consider it appropriate in a vegan lifestyle to eat honey. Now, look, each to their own. Different vegans might have different. I am not personally vegan, so I don't want to speak. I can't speak for myself. But I did a little bit of a test amongst some of the vegans that I know, and most of them said they would not eat honey, even if it was cruelty-free. You need to make your own call on that. But I think slapping vegan on a product when you know at least half of the people that say they're vegan and will be buying this product aren't going to want honey in there, I just think it's misleading, and I don't think you need honey in this product. So that's a huge no for me from this. Like I said, the strength is another issue. The price, I think, is just too expensive. Overall, it's a no from me. So we have 4-2 to The Ordinary with 1 product left to go, which is their moisturizers. So for The Ordinary, we have the hyaluronic acid plus natural moisturizing factors plus hyaluronic acid. I love this product. It is my go-to moisturizer. For the Naturium side, we have the marine hyaluronic acid water cream. Now, these aren't directly comparable because one is a little bit thicker. The Ordinary is a little bit thicker. The water cream by Naturium is a thinner consistency. The Naturium one is $20. The Ordinary is $4 to $6, depends where you buy it. Huge price difference, and really it's a slam dunk to The Ordinary again. I think with a moisturiser, you just want plain and simple. All a moisturiser needs to do is lock in your skincare, provide a surface hydration. You don't want anything fancy, you don't need anything bougie, you don't need any additives in there. This says it's got marine hyaluronics in there, which is plant-based hyaluronic acid. It claims to be lightweight and being able to deliver hydration overload for the skin. You don't need that if you've done a proper skincare routine, you don't need that. You also don't need added hyaluronic acid if you've already got 5% hyaluronic acid that you've used. I just think it's too much. I think it's too expensive. I think it's too much. And I just think the natural moisturizing factors by The Ordinary is just superior. It's a fantastic moisturizer. I recommend everybody check it out if you want a simple and easy to use moisturizer. This also has huge amounts of like herb extracts in. There's a Naturium one, so it could be quite triggering for people with sensitive skin. It smells quite strong. Again, not an unpleasant scent, but it is a little bit strong, and I don't really like that in a moisturizer personally, but it could be quite triggering, like I say, for people with sensitive skin, whereas the unscented Ordinary one I just think is superior. So that is 5-2 to The Ordinary. Crystal clear, The Ordinary have it. I'm not surprised. I'm not writing Naturium off as a brand completely in terms of just focusing on their products and none of the stuff that goes around it. I think the vitamin C is worth a second look, particularly if you've got sensitive skin. I think that could really work for you as a high strength vitamin C, but encapsulated so you don't get some of the sensitivity. I do think their retinol is one of the better products. I don't think it's a bad product. I don't think it's the best product either, but it's certainly worth a second look, and it might have its own following. I can understand why people buy it. The niacinamide I think is a little bit strong, but if you don't have sensitive skin, I think it could deliver some fantastic benefits for you. On the other hand, The Ordinary, who can argue with that price? But we haven't even really taken price into account here. Naturium is a lot more expensive, still not super expensive, but still a lot more expensive than their Ordinary counterparts. And I just think The Ordinary is better. So there you go. There you have it. The Ordinary wins hands down. What do you think? Leave me a comment below. Which of the next brands you want me to see compare and contrast? I know you're all going to say Paula's Choice, and I have got something lined up for that, so don't worry about that. But who do you want me to see battle it out next time? What are your thoughts? Have you tried anything from Naturium? Do you prefer it to The Ordinary? Do you think The Ordinary is a slam dunk? Sound off in the comments below and let me know what you think. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you could give it a thumbs up, that really helps the channel. I would love you forever. Leave me a comment, and wherever in the world you are, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.